Hello, mindful friends. As some of you may already know, I just got married and went on my honeymoon. And I'd like to share with you some of my biggest takeaways from that experience. We got married here up in the Cimarron Mountains, and it was a beautiful fall day, and the weather was absolutely perfect, and the fall colors were at their peak. And we had a pretty simple, basic ceremony just out in the mountain meadows amongst the trees, and then a reception in the state park here, out in the outdoor gazebos. And the whole experience felt like such a celebration of not only us as a couple and how much we bring to each other's lives, but also a celebration of the lives we have chosen here in Montrose and in Colorado. And that we got to share that with all of our loved ones and bring them into this place where we feel so held and nurtured and joyful in this place that we live, in this community that we have, and in our surrounding natural environment. And the whole experience reminded me where true joy comes from and how we can build that in our lives, and why it's so present for both Will and I in these lives that we've created here in Colorado. And this was confirmed even more when we went on this amazing honeymoon, which was so wonderful, great experience, beautiful setting in the Canary Islands. And yet both of us were most excited about coming back home to our lives, to our routine, to our favorite activities and our favorite places right here where we live. And this really confirmed for me the choices I've made around where I live and the life that I've created. And I give most of the credit to my mindful practice as to how I could make these choices, how I could have the awareness, but then also the courage and the strength to pursue this life that really aligns with what brings me the most joy and fulfillment and connection to what I love most in the nature around me. And when we were getting to share this with other people, the joy I felt in letting them experience a little bit of this life that we have created. And both of us, one of the biggest aspects is kind of the simplicity of what we've created here and where we live. That there's nothing grandiose about our living situation, our little humble home and our humble community. And yet this simplicity is what allows us to be so present for each and every experience. That there's, even in our wedding, like it was very simple, down to earth. And so there wasn't all this clutter and distraction of things and possessions and the grandiose show of it all and in life in general. But that when all of that was kind of down to the basics, we really got to be present for what really mattered in that experience. We got to be present for each other. We got to be present for all of our guests who came from so far away. And because there wasn't so much like human-generated distraction, we got to be super present for the natural world around us, which was so phenomenal at that time. And that's the same that we feel in our lives that we've created here in Colorado. Is it's just very simple. There's not a lot of frills and a lot of distractions, but then in that, it leaves us so much space and openness to be present for the glorious setting that we live in, that we get to almost daily get out into the mountains, into nature. We get to play, and all the recreational availability within our forests and our mountains. And that not overcomplicating things is what clears the space and allows us to play in the joyful ways that we do, and to connect with the people that really matter to us. And without mindfulness and understanding the importance of simplicity and the things that actually bring happiness, I'm not sure arriving here would have been as easy as it was, or wouldn't have. I would not call my journey here easy, but that it wouldn't have manifested in the way that it did. So that simplicity in the teachings of mindfulness and the presence, but then also in that deep awareness of what true happiness is. That I think for so long in my life I was searching for something outside of myself to make me happy, just searching for that image of what does it look like to be successful, to have a successful relationship or family or career. And I, traveled all over the world and tried living in cities and getting extra degrees, and maybe having a large career would do it. And then that mindfulness bringing me back to the fact that where that true happiness comes from is that you're living true to yourself and your core values in a way, in a lifestyle that doesn't distract you from what matters most, which is, that love, feeling the compassion, cultivating joy, having space in your life to play, to be curious, and then certainly one of the biggest is to connect with nature, which here in Colorado we have such a gift to be able to do. And so learning these things about myself and then saying, well, creating a life around that, what does it look like? And that sometimes it might, kind of sacrifice, I would not call it a sacrifice now, but some of those larger kind of societal views on success or what to prioritize, or the image of being the American ideal, and letting go of some of that and seeing, well, how do I create a life that really just reflects what matters most to me? And being able to share our lives here and celebrate them in the way that we did through this wedding just reiterated those choices that we've made, and will as well have made a huge change from living in cities and having pretty high energy, high demand jobs, and jobs that asked him to travel, higher pay, and him making the conscious choice to let that go in order to prioritize his well-being and live a more simple life that gave him all this space to be able to play a lot more, to develop his love of nature and sports within nature. And that this whole last month just seemed like such a confirmation and such a joyful celebration of we really are living the life that aligns best with us and that brings us so much joy and so much happiness. And all those teachings, like I said, the simplicity, the coming back to presence, and this connection to self, that awareness, the understanding of self and what true happiness is and where my values truly lie and what it feels like to be aligned. Mindfulness gave me that ability to then create this life here with Will that is really worth celebrating, and that we're both so excited and enthusiastic about moving forward in, and brings us so much joy. And so I hope for all of you, and what I wish and what my work is here in teaching mindfulness is to help you guys get aligned and find your own paradise here and now, your little bit of heaven on this earth, in this lifetime, that aligns with your heart. And my biggest hope is that you all have the awareness and the courage and the strength to be able to seek that in your own lives. And if you're living somewhere that doesn't feel aligned and that doesn't bring you that much joy, make a change, look into that, and have the courage to make big changes in your life, because living in alignment serves you and brings you so much healing and joy and peace and purpose, that then also will carry out and allows you to share that with the world around you. And if we're all living in that way, true to ourselves, I think this world would be a lot better, happier, peaceful, loving place. If you want support on your journey in doing that, please visit me at newleafmindfulness.com. The next class coming up is on the one Communicating Mindfully Through Difference. That starts next Tuesday. I really hope to see you guys there. You can find out more on the website, and you can purchase my books, Living from the Heart, or also Healing Mindfully, that give you more tools and techniques on living your most authentic, joyful life. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I hope to see you all very soon.